When it comes to the dynamics between black men and black women, why does it seem like black women look at us black men as their enemies?
Your thoughts about your husband are almost entirely negative, aren't they?
He acts like an enemy to me.
Do women need men?
Do women need men? No, we don't need y'all.
Oh yeah? Well, fuck you too.
Why don't you need men?
What do I need a man for? To do what?
Now, I don't want you to think that it's just black women that says things like this.
Because women don't need men anymore.
Why?
Because we are self-sustainable. We make money. We don't need you guys to go out hunting anymore. Like, we can bring food on our table.
Just because y'all can go to the supermarket, like, we're expendable and you don't need us anymore.
Yeah.
Now, my question to you all is, why does that sound the same?
It's a damn good question, Cyrus, and I'm gonna find out.
But when it comes to what they think about black men, this is what we're hearing from black women.
This is a huge red flag for me. All right. You know what's so crazy? I was gonna say men.
Don't laugh!
I was gonna say men. No, like, I mean, strike one. You're a man. You're heterosexual.
So many times, us men take the blame for everything going on in society today, but we have women who are out there and they show themselves to act like this.
I don't want to hear nothing else about black women being the most disrespected person in America. I don't want to hear it no more. Because until we're ready to address the real tea, which is we disrespect ourselves on a level that's astronomically higher than any other race attempting to disrespect us. We follow anybody with a pink, purple, blue front lace wig on. Our morals and mindset is not the same as our grandparents or our grandmothers, and we done abandoned anything and everything to do with decorum and gentleness and femininity.
There are a lot of women that hated Kevin Samuels because he would say something and they would get in their feelings about it. But Kevin Samuels was trying to warn modern women, particularly and especially black women, that winter was coming.
It is time for women to come back to the table and come clean. $15 trillion pumped into the economy. There is no more money. There's about to be not a global recession, a global reset. Winter is coming. Ladies, you got to realize there's more of you than us. You got to try to get on his page, in his boat, in his raft. That means his program. Or you can think this is I'm full of crap, don't know what I'm talking about.
Winter's coming.
Now, the Godfather has been gone from us for over 3 years. Black women are starting to experience despair from everything that's going on in society today.
I hope you guys are paying attention to what's happening because they're making it increasingly difficult for women, especially single women and single women with kids, to be able to survive.
And today we're going to talk about it. What up, gents? Welcome to TSG Uncut. I'm your host, Sean C. I have made it known multiple times that I am cool with women and what they have accomplished. You have a bunch of women who hear channels like this, but don't hear the full message. Don't listen long enough. Don't watch enough of this to know that I am actually trying to put out a message to get us to unify. Women are going to have to take accountability for their actions. I said that something was coming down the pipe that women was not going to be ready for. I said that on a live stream years ago myself. I saw what was happening economically. Now we have a situation where black women are struggling. My intention today is to show you what black women are going through today and how they got rid of black men, how they sided with the government over us black men. And that is what's leading to where we're at today. But now they're going to learn that Kevin Samuels was actually trying to help them and actually trying to warn them winter is here. That is my message to y'all today. Do me a favor, hit that like button, and with that being said, let's get started.
Never forget, black women are the highest educated demographic. Period, point blank. Those are the facts. So we're in certain rooms where there's not even a lot of us, or definitely not a lot of you in it.
A few moments later.
By May 8th, 2025, 106,000 black women lost their jobs, including me. And those of us that's been out here trying to find work again, it's basically just been non-existent. And I'm starting to feel like this is by design, because there are over 100,000 women, black women, like me who have the same story, who has applied for over 300 plus jobs and just not getting it, not getting any replies. There's just no feedback. Or you get the emails that says, hey, we have chosen someone else that has been more qualified for the job. Even though my experience and my education fits the job description perfectly. And I don't know what I'm going to do. This is the first time in a long time that I am actually starting to panic.
Black women, they are doing the same thing to us that they did to black men 40 years ago, which is pushing us out of the workforce. That's what they did to black men, and that is what caused the major divide within our community with regards to the gender wars. We saw black men the way they wanted us to see them because they didn't have the upward mobility that we had because of our jobs that we were able to get in the federal government. For one, the federal government was one of the biggest job employers for black women, and they're pushing us out left and right. We lost more jobs last month than any other demographic, and those jobs are not coming back. And if they come back, they're not gonna give them to us. I don't care what degree you got, because you can see right now they don't care nothing about those degrees. I say this to say we gonna have to work with black men. Whatever grief you got with black men, get over it. It's time for us to work together.
Because you weren't responsible enough, and now you want our help.
Again, I don't like this happening to black women. I don't like government overreach affecting any of us. Y'all gotta understand, I grew up poor. I understand what it's like to be poor, to struggle, to have someone of a different race tell you you're not good enough or to slur you, right? I grew up down south. I've had to overcome the odds to make sure that I wasn't statistic. I have been in rooms where I was the only black face in it, representing all black people, around people who have never seen black people before. I have seen it all. And I try to take that experience and bring it to bear to you all. But yet and still, we see black women focusing purely on the financial, purely on what you can do for them. And they're deciding to go at it alone because they are definitely not trying to side with us black men.
One word of advice to all of my ladies who are watching this video, no matter how long you've been with him, how many kids you may have, how long you have invested and how much money you've invested into the relationship, trying to make it work. This is your sign to leave that man. Leave him.
That's terrible advice.
Niggas always talking about 50-50 this, 50-50 that. Just so we clear, if I'm paying 50-50 with a nigga, just know another nigga paying my half.
How much do you expect the guy to spend on the first date? How much would you spend on the first date?
At least $500.
On the first date? About $1?
My nigga.
$150. You gotta pay to get my hair done, my nails done, my feet done.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
So let me ask you this. If he pays for all that, right, and the date doesn't go good, are you going to refund him?
Hell no. You gotta spend how I look and I look good, so you gotta spend a good bag.
Hate to break it to you, Mrs. Wheeler, but they lied to you.
As much as I want him to.
A band? Cause my daddy good for a band. Like,
oh, hell no.
The men who build this country and make this world work. Shout out to all the blue collar brothers. We white collar brothers ain't shit without you. I've said it and I say it again. You build the roads, dig the ditches, build the buildings, and do all the unsexy work that allows dudes like me to sit in a suit in air conditioning. Thank you. And for some reason, our women are looking down upon the very men who are the first ones who can go out and own your own business. Newsflash. You want a six-figure guy who owns his own business? That's much likely an electrician, plumber, HVAC, heating, technician, truck driver, than a doctor or a lawyer. That comes with a lot of debt. These guys can actually go out and get CDLs and six-figure jobs and own logistics firms. I have talked to women who will say, I can't bring them around my friends. One of the big issues is we look down upon the men that are supposed to build a business class. And I mean no disrespect to the athletes and entertainers, but when I talk about high value, I'm talking about a business class.
And you can look around your family and you can see that the dynamics have changed. Maybe the men have passed away. Maybe the men have moved on. The women are now by themselves. They're getting older, right? So you start to see this family dynamic of all these aunts and aunties. They by themselves. They ain't got no man. They can't keep no man. Nobody wants to deal with their shit. And even some of the younger females in the family have these feminism ideas in their head. They think they're right, but they don't see the bigger picture. And this is my message to any women out there who fall in the category. If you got it, so go at it on your own. But the only way we get past this is if we work together. And if we can't work together in our own family, then there's no hope for the Black community.
In my family, the women, we don't let no man run us. That's why all your aunties single. That's why the divorce rate in your family is so high. Because you idolize the fact that we women in this family, we don't let men run us. The reason that some of us can't destroy our dysfunctions is because we idolize them and allow them to identify us. And when you idolize dysfunction, it makes it hard to destroy it.
That's a good point. White women go to college to find a man. Black women go to college to prove they don't need one. Your mothers, our mothers failed you because your mothers are actively your competition. This is why you see women who are in their 20s partying with their daughters in their 30s or 40s. You got mother-daughter competing because if your mama ain't married, she's still dating. And if you are 25 and your mother is 41, y'all are likely looking at the same kind of men.
The most dysfunctional thing that is coming out of the Black community right now is the behavior of Black women and the behavior of their children.
Yes, damn right.
Black women have dismantled the core of the community, which is family and structure and stability, and replaced it with chaos and control and confusion.
The absent Black father, a lie, was born, sold, and still profits. The dangerous Black man was a social fear. It was a deliberate invention designed to justify surveillance, separation, and systemic exclusion. Black dads are more likely than white and Hispanic dads to eat meals with their kids, help with homework, bathe and dress their kids, read to them, and yet the myth persists. Why?
And they don't want to build with Black men, but have no problems aligning themselves with the government. Not only do they align themselves with the government, but they push all of the government's agendas, whether it's feminism, BLM, LGBTQ, welfare, whatever it is. If it's detrimental to the home, Black women will be behind it.
Prior to 1965, Black people were the most married in this country, 80%. So we came out of chattel slavery, Black laws, Jim Crow, segregation, church bombings, Rosewood, the massacre up in Tulsa, all that. But after 1965, what happened? There were a lot of factors that happened, a lot of factors. Integration happened, but the change in the economy happened. But the biggest change was in the Great Society and offered a choice, government assistance or your man. And a lot of people say, well, if you're sitting there starving and the man ain't working, anybody would be foolish to turn down food. It was not that dire. I saw men having to sleep in their car when a lot of these government workers were coming by and doing the checks. Black women, you threw away your men. You threw them away. And even now, with all the education and all the knowledge, you're the freest you've ever been, the most enlightened, most intelligent, and you still are not going back to get your men. You're expecting the men to come to you.
There was a narrative that was literally pushed in order to separate us, destroy us, to have us fighting with each other. And now here 20, 30 plus years later, we are seeing it come to fruition. It's not they don't like Black men. I am convinced that Black women hate Black men. And there are a bunch of good Black men out there, but they never will see those men who are doing what they're supposed to do because they don't make enough money, right?
I have hundreds of women that work for me, and I think that what's happened, this false hope is, really turned into something very different, because what I see is women that are, from their early 30s to their late 40s that are miserable because they really were fed a lie. And it goes so much further than we think. And I think as women, we have to partially take responsibility for that, because I think I was one of these women in a leadership position that was like, wait it out, it'll be fine. Guess what? It's not fine. You have to be honest about what it takes to be a leader and what those trade-offs are, instead of creating this narrative of false hope, because what I'm seeing is just so many women that are miserable.
When I tell you guys that the sisterhood is full of contradictions, most women in the sisterhood don't really know what they want, and they lie. They lie. Like, literally, I made a post yesterday about how come it's only black women telling me that black men hate me? How come a black man isn't telling me this out their mouth? Why is it always black women that are a part of the sisterhood who is angry, telling me that black men don't like me, they're not going to choose me? However, I'm still being chosen, and black men are loving me every day.
Stop pushing the narrative that black men hate black women think black women are ugly, think they're masculine. It's simply not true. It is not words I would use to describe myself or my experience or the experience of the black women that I know. I feel that this agenda or this idea is so completely left field and could not be further from the truth.
Ladies, black women in particular, men are not your enemy. Not all men are your enemy. There are evil people. There are evil women and there are evil men. But when it comes to our community, we need to be getting together with like-minded black people that want to see the ratchetness stops. They want to just work to provide for their family, to provide for a better life, to provide for a society that is equitable, that we could be judged on the content of our character and not the color of our skin. Black men, we are no longer judged on the content of our character, but the size of our wallets. And that shit needs to stop, because that was the goal of capitalism. They wanted to keep women working and men working, which allowed them to have a larger pool of people working, which makes the rich rich and the poor poor. We are in this shit together. And until we see that shit, we're going to continue to fight. But as a community, hell, as a country, we're going to continue to lose. And you're going to want to watch this video right here, because this subject is really important and we need to talk more about this. I promise you, if you watch this video, you're going to enjoy the conversation. You're going to enjoy the video.